Yes, people, what we saying? Weekly outlook for the week beginning the 2nd of February. Today is the 1st of February. And without further ado, let's get into it. Let's start with looking at the news. What news have we got coming out next week? This is what I'm looking at, people. PMI in the US forecasting to come in above. We have Australian interest rate decisions coming in at forecast, which is above the previous 3.85%, a 25 basis hike. We have the press conference afterwards, which will be good to look at the forward guidance. We have job openings coming in a little bit below previous. We have that's for the US. We have New Zealand employment data looking very sticky. Nothing changed from the previous. EU, we have inflation coming in forecast below expectations. Sorry, below previous. The expectation is it to be 1.7%. We have US service sector PMI coming in below forecast, below previous as well. On Thursday, we have the Bank of England interest rate decisions. A very strong chance of a hold here. We then have the meeting minutes afterwards, which will be important again to look into the forward guidance going forward for the Bank of England. We then also have European Central Bank interest rate decisions going to be held, I think, largely hold here. Again, the press conference is more important. I'll go over each individual currency, but that's something to definitely be looking out for. And then the big day on Friday, we have NFP. We have employment looking in line with previous, and that's about that. Well, it's actually US and Canada. Canada headline employment coming in at previous, and US unemployment coming in at previous as well. Job growth, payroll job growth is looking to come in above previous 70k instead of 50k. Now, swiftly moving on to the macro, we'll do each currency as we go. So this time I've actually written things down, so hopefully I'm not just waffling off the top of my head. It's a bit of structure. So, USD, I am neutral. Why am I neutral? Well, I don't believe we have a catalyst for either strong upside or strong downside. I think we're going to see a bit of consolidation this week. Why? Well, the downside risks. Well, we have the Sell America trade obviously playing out. You have all of that unwinding from metals, that caused the large moves on Friday. Upside potential, we have Kevin Walsh as the newly appointed Fed chair. Well, not newly appointed, but suggested to lead the Fed chair. And we have the geopolitical risks, as dollar being a bit of a safe haven. So, put them and you weigh them up and you think kind of neutral. Institutions, take a look at the institutions. We're getting a mixed bag here. Danske say they're neutral, Goldman Sachs bullish, JP Morgan bullish, but then we got Morgan Stanley bearish. So we are pretty neutral here. I think nothing too, like I said, nothing as too much of a catalyst to push price in either direction. Oh shit. I just think we're going to be ranging this week. So if you're moving on to the pound, the pound, the pound, the pound. Pound, I am bearish. Why am I bearish? Well, Bank of England are expected to cut rates in March. I think that's quite likely. We can see your 71% chance of a hold. I think that leaves space for cutting in March. Pardon me. I always be yawning on these videos. I don't know. I'm not even tired. I will be getting a coffee after this though, because that could be quite nice. Institutions, where are we at with institutions? Well, we can just see that we're pretty bearish. Credit Agricole, bearish. SocGen, bearish. They're wanting to sell pounds. Goldman Sachs, bearish. And BNP are also bearish. If we just quickly take a look at the labour market, we're at highs not seen since COVID. That is obviously incredibly concerning. And we have falling inflation as well. Generally, quite a poor month in terms of the pound performance, January, February. So there's that. Uh, Swiftly moving on to the euro. I am bullish, but only on specific crosses because I don't believe it would be, smart to be trading a strong currency against a strong currency, and so therefore we'll be trading the euro against some weaker currencies this week. But we'll go on to the technical and statistical analysis later on in the video. I'm gonna try and make this video not as long. Last video was pretty long. Try and keep it like as brief and concise as possible in this sort of macro stage. So I am bullish on certain crosses. So the yen and the pound. We'll talk about the yen in a little bit. The short end is falling, but I think we can see here that we're hawkish on when Lagarde speaks. I think generally Lagarde has been pretty hawkish in recent commentary. And obviously we have the meeting this week as well. So I am looking for some euro upside. Commodities. So we obviously saw a big sell-off in commodities. I think we'll see some flows coming out of the commodity market into sort of non-commodity currencies like the euro. Like I said, the guy's been pretty hawkish recently, and institutions are long. We can see that institutions are overall bullish, albeit we do have two bearish, whatever. I think we're overall bullish on the euro. CAD, I am bullish. The short end is supporting the dips. It's being held steady by US oil that didn't actually get hit too badly on the commodities fall on Friday. In fact, we ended the day positive where others didn't. So I do think that leaves CAD quite supported on the dips. If we see a dip, we will buy it. Not much has really changed data wise in Canada, but obviously, we have a few events this week that we'll be watching out for. We'll cover AUD and NZD as one because they're very similar. Bullish on both, have been for a while. Commodity dynamics. So, yes, we saw the sell off, but upside is still forecasted in gold, etc. This just gives us more of a reason to be bullish. Not the only reason, but it gives us more of a reason to be bullish on these antipodean currencies. Improving risk sentiment, we can see that we are more risk on. We have weaker dollar, so and AUD and NZD just happens to give you exposure to growth without certain political risks and baggage that come with other currencies. The yuan, big driver, Chinese yuan has performed very well recently. I continue to believe that will keep happening, and so obviously, especially for New Zealand, it's very rate differential driven and driven by sort of China flows, and as we know, China flows have been running nicely as of late. We have an RBA rate hike this week, which, if anything, supports the Aussie dollar. However, I think that's already been priced in, and so I think we could see a buying up into the interest rate decision and then a sell off as investors take profits. I think we'll be buying that dip, so I'm looking to sort of go long, go short, then go long again, kind of thing. If we're going to play all sides of the coin, however, we could just wait and sit it out and see if we get the pullback after news. And obviously that gives us a decent insight into forward guidance as well. We'll see where market open leaves us. Institutionally, we are very bullish. Bank of America is bullish. SocGen is bullish. Credit Agricole is bullish. RBC is also bullish. What does that tell you guys? Tells me that we should long AUD NZD. Moving on to the yen. The yen I am bearish on. However, there are intervention risks that you should be aware of. But I think that actually we will fade those intervention risks, as last week Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, said that they won't help Japan intervene in the currency markets. And as a result, yen drifted lower. I think we'll be pricing out intervention this week. and so therefore lower yen makes a lot of sense. So we are short yen once again. CHF. Let's cover CHF fairly quickly. CHF, I am bullish, and let's hear the reason. So obviously we saw that sell off on the weekend, on the Friday, in the commodities market. However, if you actually go and take a look, I'll show you. Go and take a look at the Swiss franc. There was a fairly muted effect from the gold sell off, and I think the market is showing us that gold's going to have a bounce back, and I'll get onto that in a second as well. Inflows from geopolitical risks and institutional credibility are still in play. Obviously, the Swiss franc is a hedge against inflation and used as a store of fairly stable value. So I think fundamentally we are still bullish on CHF regardless. And if anything, the pullback was a nice opportunity to go long. So that covers the macro. Let's get on to the technicals. So this is what I'm looking at this week. I just got my arse handed to me on ETH. If anyone would like to see, it is what it is. Right, USD CHF. I like a bounce off the 177, the 0.775 handle. I stopped above here. Could tap into here. But I think just securing an entry here, I'm okay with. 1-to-1 back to this area, and we'll reassess from there. That's that. Not too much going on with that. If we look at the statistical analysis, you can see obviously we are overbought, but I think a nice gap to the upside. I'll cover the dollar in a little bit, but a nice gap to the upside, and then a retrace would be nice. Pound AUD. Oh yeah, a 1-to-1 as well. 1-to-1. Pound AUD. I think a bounce off the 967 handle is quite nice. Again, just going for a 1-to-1, targeting this area here. Nothing too crazy. I may hold and come and take out these lows here for a 1-to-2, or I may hold and take out these lows here for a 2.5, but at the minute this 1-to-2 looks most appetizing. Obviously statistically, I think we could just do something like this. At the minute we've obviously closed below mean reversion, test the lower band, back up, test this higher band that will come down, and then come and take out these lows here. Something like that. Pound CAD, obviously CAD strength this week. I think this is a nice play. This looks like a nice place to go short from. As we can see, nice area of rejection off the 1.865 handle. I think then shorting to the lows would be nice, or this area as well. Statistically, we are a little bit overbought. And if we go on 4 hour, we could test mean reversion here. So something like this could be the play. Something like that. By the way, I'm not these are all the pairs I'm looking at, but I'm not taking everything. I'll just be assessing what's best for the risk profile I'm going for this week. But this week, I am also looking at pound NZD, obviously pound weakness, Aussie, New Zealand dollar strength. I think a short from here would be nice. Stops above the highs, and I'm happy if everything's still aligning, to take shorts off the 2.29 handle as well. And so 1% risk, then 0.5% risk. I'm pretty happy being 1.5% risk into this. Pound Swissy, obviously, pound weakness, Swiss franc strength. Bounce off the 1.06 handle would be nice. Stops above the highs, just going for a 1-to-1, maybe even take it for a 1-to-2 down to the bottom here. But at the minute, 1-to-1 is fine with me. NZD USD, this makes a whole lot of sense. We are obviously very fundamentally bullish. I think a nice bounce off this handle, sort of like the 0.5975 handle is quite nice. um, for a 1 to 3 back up to this zone here. Maybe even break the highs, but never really aim for the highs. Just aim for, you know, what you like RR based, and don't try and like top tick and bottom tick. Just get in when it's safe, get out when it's safe. That's all it is. Similar thing on AD, USD. Obviously, these are the ones I'm liking the most at the minute. 1 to 3s on both. I will be also be looking into these ones. So euro pound, this is a very nice level to be buying from. We can see that algos are, you know, very reactive here, very reactive. I think a nice sweep of all of these lows, take out this low here, take out that low, and you know, rock it back up, going for a 1 to 2 here. Euro yen, this makes a lot of sense to me. Let's drop onto a lower time frame. This looks nice. Going for a 1 to 3, take it back up to this zone here. You can see it's quite a strong area, but I'm happy with this. Sweep this low, and we're off in terms of hit this lower band, then try and get out before we reverse off of the top band. AUD JPY, this was an unlucky position last week. Got stopped out at break even on this candle on Thursday, and then obviously, as we can see, my TP was here. I got edged so hard. Like I didn't hit my take profit on this candle here. Out of break even and then straight back to TP. Yeah, it was peak, but these are that's how those things go. Just looking to get back in on the same sort of trade idea, possibly even take it to the high. Okay. That was my mum. I apologise. What else we got? We got NZD JPY. Very similar things here. We can see obviously AUD JPY and NZD JPY, Euro JPY, all very similar in terms of what we're looking for. Yen weakness, Antipodean strength, Euro strength. That's pretty simple stuff. But yeah, take the long, close at 93.5 for a 1 to 2. Just looking quickly into equities, I want NAS to hit 26. That would be nice. This is a very nice zone. We may sweep the lows, possibly, but something like that looks nice. And Euro USD, probably not going to take this, but something like this looks nice as well. Yes, I'm trading two strong currencies, but I expect this just basically to range. So a gap to the downside, take out these lows here, and then it's just basically range all week. That's what I'm expecting. Something like that. May play like a bit more of a risky game and literally just go for like a 1-to-1 with stocks above these highs, but no, we'll assess. That's that for the currencies. Let's just quickly go over digital assets. This was unlucky as well. I got stopped. Where was it? Can't remember. I got stopped somewhere. This wasn't in my exact position. Would have been a nice trade. I'm just mainly trying not to trade like intraday on crypto. It's just not really. I just don't really like it that much. It's just a bit more like, what's the word? Time consuming. Just don't really have a time for it. I'm gonna be real, guys. So that's sort of, just look. You can just. Well, I mean, it's interesting because like gold held up in that dump. Gold held up, but crypto has not held up. ETH dumped further. Obviously, Sui, XRP, Doge. What else? AVAX, BNB. Hype's an interesting one if we just take a look at this week's price action. Where was it? Yeah, started here. We were up a lot. Just about below break even on my position on Hype now, which is nice to say. Commodities, obviously we can see the dump. On gold, see the dump. Oh, sorry, that is an absolute mess. In fact, I'm gonna get rid of all that. See the dump on silver, copper, very similar. Iron ore, very interesting. Didn't particularly get too much of a sell-off. Platinum got nuked. Oil holding, like I've mentioned, supporting the CAD. Cacao and coffee. Coffee actually took a pretty bad tumble, but coffee remained pretty safe. But obviously, completely different types of commodity, so yeah, you can't expect that. Looking at the VIX, bit more risk on at the minute, but I expect to get the gap to the downside, playing a bit more risk off as we come near the 15-16 mark. And then quickly just looking at the dollar. I think that's a bit unlikely. But this, I think, will basically just stay quite range bound this week. Something like this. Something like this. Try and find some price action that's sort of, somewhat similar. Just sort of like this kind of price action. We didn't really go anywhere. I feel like, yeah, we swept that low, but that was on a different week. So yeah, pretty much I'm looking for that kind of stuff. Just a bit of like bit of upside movement, bit of downside, just mainly ranging. That is that for the outlook, guys. So I show you something which is quite interesting as well that I've been getting into. This is called Margin. So it's a prediction platform where you know how you have like Polymarket, etc., but you make predictions. Well, obviously that's with your own capital, right? This person has created a prop firm for prediction markets, which in theory is like very cool. I haven't personally seen any other ones like this, but if you guys want to take a look at my predictions, I got given a 5k account. I'm not affiliated with these people, um, but yeah, because I copped a 5k account accidentally. Not I didn't cop a 5k account. I copped a what's the word, like a membership. Accidentally paid for it, and he was just like, I'm like, you can either have an account or I can refund it to you. I was like, well, I may as well just test it out. So I'm testing it out, seeing what it's saying. I haven't actually like won any predictions yet, but they're coming in. So my predictions are that Ethereum will hit 2,400 before it hits 2,200. That expires in 2 hours. Will gold gap up on market open? I'm saying yes. Will Ethereum hit an all-time high before the 31st of March? I'm saying no. Will the Nasdaq weekly candle close bearish? I'm saying no. Obviously, already shown this. Will BTC weekly candle close bearish this week? I don't think it will either. So that's that. Just thought I'd kind of show you what this is about. But yeah, this is the leaderboard. I'm gonna get on here at some point. I'm telling you, getting on here at some point. But that's that. If we just go back to Cognito, this is obviously Cognito. I mention this in every outlook, every recap because they're the goats. Sick platform. Go and check out the platform. I use it every day, all day, every day. It's all I need. It's all you guys need if you want to, get the macro data, macro analysis, just straight in your face. Don't have to digest anything. It's all just there for you. They drop recaps, they drop outlooks, they drop morning briefs. There's the institutional insights. So all of that, plus the macro, plus the calendar, plus the news, plus you can jump in the chat to the guys. There's a journal, there's an AI trade analysis, and there's a tanker platform where you can see all the tankers in the world with all the choke points and stuff, like live, which is kind of sick. And crypto and stocks is coming soon. But yeah, if you want to check this out, link will be in the description. Code F3 to get money off. I think it's like 30 to 50% off. Definitely go and check it out. And if you like the look of it, use my code for some money off. Yes, I do get some money from it, but I use it personally. I think it's worth it. I wouldn't be, from not promoting something, but I wouldn't be like bigging something up if I don't think it was any good. I use this shit daily. It's sick. Get on it. Code F3. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you have enjoyed the video. This was 25 minutes. I said I wanted it to be shorter. It wasn't. Um, but yeah, if you got to the end, I appreciate it. Drop me a like, drop a comment. If you got to the end, if you're new here, drop a sub. If you like what you're watching, go and watch some of my other videos. There's outlooks, there's recaps, there's videos about how to set goals, X, Y, and Z. Go and watch them. Bish bash bosh. I appreciate you watching my stuff because it means a lot. Obviously, I sit down here and I spend time doing this, but I love what I do. So, as for that, I'm signing off. Cheers, people. Have a good rest of the evening for the weekend, and I hope you guys have a good week ahead.